Hello, my name is Sharon Robson. I'm a consultant at SoftEd, and in this whiteboard session I'm going to talk to you about change. The rate of change in our organisations is accelerating. Change is everywhere, change is constant. How do we induce change without destroying our teams? How do we help our teams become change fit and manage their change resilience? And how do we help change happen with buy-in from our management, from our leadership, from the C-suite? How can we make sure that the changes that we're making are adding value? I'm going to articulate a framework that I use when I'm looking at recommending and embedding changes. The first point is observe. We never want to try and embed a change in a team that's out of context and it is not something that actually applies to them. So we need to spend our time looking at how the team currently works, what is their current context, what are they currently doing, and then after we've observed what the pain points are, we need to recommend. Now we need to recommend a change that will address the biggest pain point first. Change programs can be quite arbitrary and they can just roll out a series of changes that are not contextual for a team. They're not personal. So the recommendations for change need to be personalized to the organization, to the team. But they also need to be deeply rooted into the value proposition of the organization. If there is no alignment between the change that we recommend and the value of the organization as a whole, we are not going to get a meaningful and sustained change happening. Once we've done this recommendation, for each change, we go through a cycle. And the cycle is simply about exposing people to the change, then educating, then embedding, and then enhancing. So exposing means that we talk to the team or the organisation about the particular change that we're looking at making. We give them the rationale, we explain the background, we talk about the observations we made, and we make sure that we're very open and transparent about the why behind the change. We also very strongly draw the relationship between the change and the value proposition of the organisation. We articulate what the outcome of the change is going to be so people can see where they're going. You've got to know the destination of the journey. The second stage is education. And education means that we look at the change as a whole, we break it into its component parts, we discuss them in detail, and we talk about the what and the why and the when and the how and the who. We talk about what it means to the individual, we talk about what it means to the collective. We make sure that people understand the change. Then we practice it. We learn the change by doing the change, and we make sure when we are practicing that the practice is supported. We need to have coaching, we need to have guidelines, we can even provide scripts when teams need it. We need to have the deliberate practice of any change so that people get comfortable with the change. Once we're comfortable with the change, we embed it. We actually swap out an old practice and replace it with the new practice. And we build it into the work pipeline of the team that we're working with or of the organisation. We make it the new norm. We let it settle so that we can look at the ripple effects of that change on the rest of the way of working or the patterns of behaviour in the organisation. Once we've settled, we're able to look more deeply at that particular change and enhance it over time. We can enhance it in terms of how it relates to the neighbouring activities or events for that particular change. We can enhance it in getting better and better at the practice itself. We go through that expose, educate, embed and enhance cycle for all of the change components that we need to make. This is how you make meaningful and sustainable change in your organisation.